If you ask anyone, is it possible for pets to develop and experience separation anxiety? The answer will probably be something like, yeah, my dog used to have that. Even if you look up separation anxiety in pets, the first results will be about dogs. This is borderline criminal towards cats because they very much so experience separation anxiety as much as other animals. Anyway, finally we're gonna bring you some answers to these questions. Do cats experience separation anxiety? What are the signs? And how to help your feline friends overcome it. Hey guys, welcome to Furry Feline Facts, a perfect catalog of cat stats. In today's video, we're gonna bring you some answers to the big topic of separation anxiety in cats. If you're not already a follower of Furry Feline Facts, meow is the time to click the subscribe and notification bell. If you are, give yourself a round of applause. Okay, enough kidding around. It's meow or never. Cats are always thought of as these independent, regal creatures who don't necessarily need our companionship, but probably tolerate it for the food. But contrary to popular belief, cats aren't that much of a loner. They actually do form powerful bonds with their humans and are very social animals. When left alone for too long, they can be lonely, they can experience distress and anxiousness, and in some cases start to act out as a result of that. Acting out as in, leaving gifts behind the couch or on your bed. So how can you tell if your cat suffers from separation anxiety? Each cat has its own unique personality. Some are more vocal about their distress, others act out, others show their anxiousness in different ways. Here are the general signs. Signs of separation anxiety in cats. Number 1. Vocalizing their distress. First up, we have excessively vocalizing their distress. If you notice your cat excessively meowing, crying, and moaning when you're about to leave or while you're gone, then this may be the cause. Number 2. Not eating or eating too fast. Cats express themselves differently. Ever come home after a long day at work and notice your kitty's bowl just as full as you had left it? She may have been too anxious to eat while you're gone. Or on the contrary, notice your cat gulping down her food like there's no tomorrow? Number 3. Excessive grooming. Some people report leaving their cats for an extended amount of time, even leaving with a sitter or a family member or friend and coming back to find their cats having licked patches of their hair away. This is one of the most common ways cats with separation anxiety express themselves. Number 4. Going outside the litter box. Here is another cat myth debunked coming your way. Most often when your cat leaves you a little, or in some cases a big, gift outside her litter box, she's not doing it out of spite. Even though it feels like it, there is actually a logical reason for this, or at least it makes sense to them. Number 5. Being destructive. You leave the house for a few hours and come back to find your door scratched, your sofa has claw marks on it, and somewhere in the house, something is bound to be on the floor. Destructive behavior isn't uncommon. In an attempt to leave their confinement and get to you, some cats chew, claw, and scratch at items. Number 6. Predeparture anxiety. This happens when you're just getting ready to leave. Your cat shows signs of distress, vocalizing their protest, following you around, etc. This can also translate into general anxiety when the cat is over-attached to you, even following you from room to room around the house. Number 7. Uncharacteristic excitement at your return. Have a cat that rarely expresses affection but it's suddenly your best friend when you return? This out-of-the-ordinary excitement may have an underlying cause other than genuine happiness to see you home. Number 8. Trying to escape. Finally, we have trying to escape. This occurs when you're outside and your kitty is trying to reach you no matter the consequence. Recognize this sort of behavior in your cat? Does she show one or more of these signs? What's the next step? There's another thing you need to recognize before we move on to how to treat separation anxiety in cats. Let's take a look at why your cat has separation anxiety. The problem may not be rooted in your cat, but it may have something to do with your behavior. Clinginess. One of the main causes for this is clinginess, and not on the cat's end. We get it, cats are so fluffy and adorable that you constantly want to be with them, but you may not realize that your behavior is creating a behavioral problem or making a problem worse. When you spend all your time with your cat, you're making them constantly used to your presence. So when you take that away, when you step outside, they're left bereft. Their childhood. Another major cause for separation anxiety in cats can be traced to their early on childhood, and that is the time they're weaned. Cats who were weaned too early, rehomed too early, or even orphaned occasionally suffer from many issues. Among these issues is that they grow up lacking independence. They may also lack confidence entirely and grow too dependent on you. Lack of stimulation. What a lot of people don't keep in mind when they have a cat as a pet is that these feline creatures, as much as they seem like they prefer lazing around or perching on a high spot to chase smaller prey, is that they actually require quite a good amount of exercise. This includes both mental and physical stimulation. Without it, there's nothing to stave off the boredom when you leave them all by their lonesome. Certain breeds are more affected than others. Just like how Labradors and Border Collie dog breeds tend to develop separation anxiety and destructive behavior after being left alone for too long, some cat breeds are more likely to be more dependent on humans. Burmese and Siamese cats in particular fall high on the list of pets who can turn too attached to their humans. Now let's go to the most important part of this topic. What can we do to help our feline friends feel better? We've got your back. Check out these ways on how you can help your cat get over its separation anxiety and lessen its severity. Remember, if you're too worried about your cat or if she's exhibiting really uncharacteristic behavior, a visit to the vet will never hurt. Okay, so here is how you can help your cat. Environmental enrichment. Let's start off with a relatively easy solution, one that you'll enjoy as well. To lessen your cat's anxiousness about leaving, the problem, as we just mentioned before, may be that your cat is suffering from a lack of stimulation. That can be solved with increasing environmental enrichment. What does that mean? You want your kitty to feel entertained while you're gone. Entertained, secure, and happy. That means the environment has to make her feel that way. Spruce up your home to make your cat's surroundings extra fun. Go crazy with fun cat toys. Put out puzzle feeders to make them feel excited about getting treats. Give them puzzle boxes to stimulate them mentally. Dedicate hideaway and elevated areas where they can hide and play to trigger and satisfy their prey drive. Cat scratch posts are always a great idea. Pull toys, wind-up mice, etc. But don't just place these toys and leave them on the floor right before you leave. If you do that, chances are that your cat is going to tilt its head at them and abruptly dismiss them after a curious, indulgent sniff. No, you have to incorporate them in your cat's day when you're actually home. We're going to touch on this in a minute, but you want to establish a fun routine in their daily schedule. What this is going to do is make your cat feel like the almighty, unconquerable, unshakable hunter that it is. Indulging that prey drive and letting your cat successfully capture something will be the highlight of their day. Make these toys, these activities, part of the schedule so that their internal clock makes them look forward to the toy's appearance. The goal is that when you set them out before you leave, they're going to be not just comfortable, but excited. Act calm and carry on is the strategy you should take when both entering and leaving the home. If every time you leave you make a fuss and announce it, your cat may interpret that as the ultimate goodbye instead of you heading to work for a few hours. If your cat especially suffers from a dramatic case of separation anxiety, your goodbyes should be very casual. After all, cats pick up on your emotions. If you're upset that you're leaving, your cat is going to get upset as well. So don't make a production out of it and then move on to our next step. Leave background noise. Leaving the TV or the radio on can make a dramatic difference. Better yet, leave on a station or a channel that is often on when you're home. This essentially serves as a way to comfort the cat, as well as act as a buffer against any noises from outside that may trigger anxiety. Practice coming and going. This is also related to not making a production out of leaving. You want your cat to be comfortable with the idea of you being gone for a few hours. Chances are your cat tenses up whenever she hears the telltale signs of an imminent goodbye. Keys jingling, putting on your coat, reaching for your bag, etc. So ease your cat into getting used to this routine by practicing coming and going. Multiple times a day, practice following the routine of reaching for your keys, purse, coat, whatever, and don't actually leave. Walk to the door and come back. The next level of practicing is actually leaving, but starting with shorter absences first. Have a reward system. Reward your kitty friend with plenty of pets, scratches, praise, and attention when she acts the way you want her to act, such as not tensing up when you're leaving or when she's quiet. In fact, go a step further and reward her when she does something to entertain herself. Don't reward unfavorable behavior such as excessive meowing and destructive behavior. Well, there you have it, some answers on cats' separation anxiety. I hope you learned a lot in this episode. Just to clear things up, sometimes it's impossible to understand 100% our furry friends. What other reasons do you think might trigger your cat's behavior? How does your cat show its anxiety? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to Furry Feline Facts and leave a comment saying, "I subscribed," and I'll personally reply to your comment or question about your cat. And hit that notification bell to be sure you don't miss any of our pawsome content. See you next time.